Hello! On the morning of March 3rd, 2003 hikers in Hollywood Hills witnessed a horrifying scene. The bruised body of a young woman was discovered in a sleeping bag under a ravine. The forensic pathologist determined that the cause of death was due to external force. The police investigation revealed a series of gruesome crimes, and you are following the case of a serial killer who lured dozens of girls with the pretense of casting them in a James Bond film on television. Christine Johnson graduated from Saugatuck High School in 1999 and then moved to Los Angeles, California to pursue opportunities in the entertainment industry. She was charming and attractive and was working for a mobile phone distribution company. On January 15, 2003, her dream seemed on the verge of coming true when she was approached and spoken to by a middle-aged man at the Century City Mall in Los Angeles. He introduced himself as a photographer and film producer, currently looking for fresh young faces to join a James Bond-related film. The man said he was very impressed with Christine and persuaded her to audition for the film. Christine was thrilled and immediately agreed to attend the audition at a location he provided. Upon returning home, Christine excitedly shared with her roommate about meeting a photographer in Beverly Hills who claimed to have influence in the entertainment industry. The 21-year-old quickly made plans for the audition, which she hoped would offer a life-changing opportunity. Christine proudly showed her roommate the meticulously chosen outfits she planned to wear, including a short dress, stockings, high heels, and a stylish collared shirt. Her roommate was equally excited, as she admired Christine's determination and always supported and encouraged her to follow her dreams. From that moment, Christine felt that her future was full of promise. The young student eagerly prepared for the meeting scheduled right after Valentine's Day in 2003. She got into her white Mazda and began her journey toward the picturesque hills of Laurel Canyon. Unfortunately, she got lost and had to stop and ask a local for directions. Little did anyone know that this would be the last time Christine was seen alive. After the audition, her family did not see Christine return and could not reach her. They quickly traveled to Los Angeles to join the search, with the help of many local residents. Christine's face appeared on news bulletins, but despite all efforts, her fate remained a mystery. "Christine, come home safely. Life will not be peaceful without you," was the plea broadcasted on television for Christine to return, but it received no positive response. Days passed since Christine went missing, and the police had not yet found any trace of her. They investigated her mobile phone records and discovered the last signal was at around 5 p.m. on February 15th. A local resident living in the Laurel Canyon area on the Hollywood Hills remembered seeing a girl driving a white Mazda who was lost and searching for a house on the hill. That girl was Christine. The police and volunteers scoured the desolate areas where people often go missing in Los Angeles, and Christine's parents posted missing person flyers everywhere, but all efforts were in vain. A few days later, Christine's car was found in a parking lot in Century City. The discovery raised concerns that something bad might have happened to Christine. Finally, on March 3rd, 2003, more than 2 weeks after the young student went missing, some hikers witnessed a horrifying scene in Hollywood Hills. They found Christine's bruised body in a sleeping bag under a ravine. Due to the rainy season, the body had quickly decomposed. The 21-year-old had been strangled, and her hands and feet were bound with ropes. Forensic experts determined that Christine had been sexually assaulted. Additionally, there were external injuries indicating Christine had been physically abused before her death. However, strangulation was identified as the primary cause of death. The prolonged rain had washed away most of the evidence, making it impossible for the police to determine the exact time of Christine's death or to collect any DNA or traces of the perpetrator. After the media reported Christine's death, a woman named Susan Murphy contacted the police, saying that a man had approached her at the Century City Mall a few weeks earlier. He introduced himself as Victor Thomas and said, "I think you're very attractive. I'm a photographer, and we're casting for a new James Bond film. We've been casting all day, and you're exactly the type we're looking for." Susan was not entirely convinced by his words, but was intrigued as every girl dreams of being a Bond girl. When Susan arrived at the meeting point a few days later, She went with a friend getting out of the car to approach the man while her friend stayed in the car. Thomas invited her to an abandoned building for the audition, but Susan felt uneasy. She asked the man to show his ID and informed him that her friend was waiting in the car. Thomas immediately became angry and said she wasn't right for the role, then left. Susan also provided important information that the man had instructed her to wear a specific outfit to the audition: black high heels, a black short dress, stockings, a white men's shirt, a tie, and her hair tied back tightly in a ponytail. Susan's intuition told her that Victor was the same person who had approached Christine, so she decided to contact the authorities. Upon hearing about the case, suspicion grew as not only Susan, but also other women reported similar experiences to the police. Actress Kathy DeBuono mentioned that in 1998, she had encountered a man at the mall. The man introduced himself as Brian, the Disney executive, and said he was very interested in Kathy's legs and was looking for new talent for James Bond films. At that time, Kathy was known for a small role in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Although Brian promised a good opportunity and did not act inappropriately, Kathy felt a bit uneasy and brought her boyfriend along for safety. Kathy drove to a specific address given by Brian and was told someone would come to pick her up, but when she arrived at the meeting point, she did not encounter anyone. Perhaps due to her companion's presence, the man did not show up. Actress Christine Kalogian reported that she met Victor 14 years ago when she was only 21. He introduced himself as John Maroney, the music executive at Columbia Records, and promised to take her to a high-profile party at a luxury hotel in the city center. Christine trusted him and went along, but there was no party. Instead, Victor attempted to kiss and assault her. After resisting, Christine saw Victor pull a rope from behind the bed. Realizing she had fallen into a premeditated trap, she managed to escape after a struggle. Victor was arrested and charged with attempted rape after Christine reported the incident with rope marks and bruises on her body. Victor denied all allegations, claiming that they were dating and that he had only taken her to his hotel room. However, he later voluntarily confessed to receive a lighter sentence. Victor was sentenced to 3 years probation for the crime of unlawful detention by violence. Actress Elizabeth Davis recounted meeting Victor under the name Joe Messi in 1991. He claimed to be working for Disney and producing James Bond films. When Victor prepared a drink for Elizabeth, she noticed a white powder in it and called the police, but no charges were filed. Victims described Victor Thomas's face for a sketch artist to draw his portrait. After seeing the sketch, a police officer reported recognizing a recently released man with a similar face, though his name was not Victor Thomas. This man was not Brian from Disney, as introduced to Kathy. His name was Victor Paleologus, with no connection to the film industry. He had been imprisoned for assaulting a woman and matched Susan Murphy's and Kathy DeBuono's descriptions. Victor had a troubled past with multiple convictions for crimes including stalking, theft, forgery, and sexual assault. A month before the student Christine Johnson was murdered, Victor had been released from prison after serving a 5-year sentence for assault with intent to rape. Court records also revealed that on August 30th, 1998, Victor approached a young woman at a bar in Hollywood. He introduced himself as a film producer, seeking young female faces for a James Bond film's promotional photos. Victor invited the woman to meet him at a hotel and requested that she wear a short black dress, nude stockings, and black high heels. Upon arrival, Victor asked her to accompany him to another location with fake contracts. Victor took the victim to an apartment he claimed was his office, which had previously been the site of another attack in 1996. There, Victor tied a rope around the woman's ankle and posed her according to a film script. He then pinned her to the floor, used a tie to bind her wrists, and attempted to rape her. The victim fought back fiercely and managed to escape, driving herself to the police station to report the incident. Victor was subsequently arrested and charged with attempted rape. During police questioning, he denied any involvement and claimed he had not caused trouble for any women. Victor's defense attorney argued that he was only trying to make conversation with young women and pretending to work in the entertainment industry to impress them. Victor claimed he was not at the mall when the girl encountered the man, but was instead at the Century Plaza Hotel Spa across the street. With no fingerprints, DNA, or evidence linking Victor to the victim, it took prosecutors a long time to pursue the case. The breakthrough came when a woman called the tip line reporting having seen Victor at the Century City Mall on February 15th. Paul Cady, a real estate broker, reported having shown Victor several houses, including one just a few hundred meters from where the victim's body was found. On July 13, 2006, the case went to trial with the prosecution and dozens of women with past connections to Victor testifying. After 13 days of trial, Victor unexpectedly decided to reach a plea agreement with the prosecution to admit to murder. After a long period of denial and blaming others for his legal troubles under the plea agreement, he would avoid the death penalty and receive a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 25 years, but without the right to appeal. Prosecutors argued that Victor lured the victim there with the intent to rape and killed her. When she resisted, then discarded her body down the hill. However, Victor later wrote an 11-page letter to the judge requesting to withdraw his guilty plea. The judge denied this request, and with the charge of first-degree murder, the court sentenced Victor to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Victor also filed an appeal claiming that his lawyer pressured him into agreeing to the plea, but his appeal was denied by the California Supreme Court. In 2008, the case was depicted in the documentary film Demons in the City of Angels, and the book Meet Me for Murder. By 2016, many still felt that the punishment for Victor was too lenient. The case sparked a movement advocating for victims of rape who had faced significant stigma from the community in the 1990 and 2000. Women recognized the similarities between Christine's story and their own, and together they were able to prevent serial predators targeting young women in Hollywood for over a decade. Even though they did not personally know Christine, her impact was felt through the women who helped bring the killer to light. Some felt a deep connection with her as if they had known her in a strange way. Although the legal efforts could not bring Christine back, her bright smile and youthful face continue to live in the minds of those who remain. We can only hope that this young woman can fulfill her dream of becoming a great actress in another, kinder, and more beautiful life. So do you think a 25-year life sentence is truly deserving for the crimes Victor committed? And is this sentence enough to deter those who target vulnerable women just for their own satisfaction? Leave your opinions below, and if you found this video interesting, please support us by liking the video and subscribing to our channel. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.